I'm Kaelin.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Jackie.
And welcome to the Secret Superstar Society.
Episode 2.
Woo!
Our tagline is an interactive podcast and community for creative geniuses, which is a little tongue-in-cheek, if you didn't realize. And what it's actually for is people who are struggling creatively, who are feeling creatively blocked and frustrated, but who kind of maybe think deep down, or at least did at some point, that they're a superstar.
Yeah, so if you clicked on this podcast because you're a genius, the joke is on you.
Yeah, it's not for geniuses. It's for idiots.
It's for creative idiots.
Which we are.
Clearly.
We really are. We're fools. We're a bunch of fools.
We're a bunch of fools. But geniuses are like weird. We're extremely like fortunate and very excited about how our first episode went.
Truly freaking out.
Like at time of recording, we have 96 views on our YouTube video.
I've never gotten that much engagement on a social media post in my life.
I've never met 96 people.
Jumped up
Me either.
15 or 16 since yesterday, which I don't understand.
So
We're like maybe going viral.
Like we're going viral.
We're like
slowly.
Slow-mo viral.
Which is classically what viral is. And we're extremely grateful for you guys watching and for the feedback. I'm feeling very like in love with everybody in my like life and everybody who watched and like you guys and this experience and like
it's been really weird and overwhelming, and I think like all three of us struggle with self-doubt.
Yes.
And I mean, we've talked a lot about it filming this because, of course, the entire time we're just like, what if this happens? Or what if this happens? But I don't know. I just feel like they kind of like dissipated this week.
Yeah. But I will say some of the feedback we did get was from my amazing mother, Antonia. Thank you for watching and for giving me all those notes and for being my mom. I love you. And one of the notes that she gave that was helpful was like, we should tell people who we are, which I think is awesome.
That's fair.
A great point.
Yeah.
So I'm
Good
Olivia.
call.
My mom is Antonia. Y'all know her. Big AF. Those are her initials.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say her last name. Anyway, whatever. And I'm from DC. I am a teacher, and that is like one of my, I would say, big passions, working with kids. And I've always loved to draw and like paint and do visual art stuff. I also really like to write. I studied writing, and I would say the thing that we were talking about, like the thing that like brought us to this place. I don't know if I have one specific project. I think I feel really creatively incapable and stuck, specifically, I guess, with my writing, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do with my writing that I'm not doing because I'm not writing. So that I would say, and I really miss drawing really consistently, and I'd like to do it again.
You're an incredible drawer.
Thank you. True. I draw an amazing picture of Lisa Barlow.
She did.
This past week.
She drawed it. She drawed it.
I drawed Lisa
with her
Barlow.
own 2 hands.
It was amazing. I loved it.
It really captured
Baby
her essence.
gorgeous.
So I'll put that on the Instagram this week.
I think
Yay.
that's good. I'm Kaelin. I am from New Orleans.
And who's your mom?
Daughter of Tracy. I'm from New Orleans, best city in the U.S. Sorry, I get really hetero male when I talk about my
heterosexual for New Orleans.
I really do. Super
I get
hetero for New Orleans.
I love New Orleans.
Me too. And I think it's really like can't be overstated how influential that city was on my creative upbringing in general. So New Orleans till I die. And let's see. I don't know. My creative white whale. Was that the next thing?
And like, who are you? Like, what do you like to do creatively?
Oh yeah, creatively. I am primarily a writer and a filmmaker. But I also really like other I like to just like kind of do a lot of different mediums. Like I'm not good at painting, but I love to paint.
You have a fabulous voice.
Thank
Yes,
you.
beautiful singer.
It's very sweet. I am, I play guitar. I sing and write songs, mostly covering them these days. Haven't written a song since like college. Well, it's not true. I've written like, for some reason, I cannot write a whole song. I can like only write a bridge or only write a chorus. And then like,
Feel you.
what do you
What
do
if
with
you
that?
put them together?
Well, sometimes they don't match, which is,
You hate to see that.
you really hate to see that. But maybe I'm not thinking about it in the right way.
You cook.
I do cook. I
And
love
bake.
to bake. It's like one of my favorite creative things to do. And I kind of just like to do a lot of different things, which means that I'm really like not amazing at any one thing. I just am endlessly curious. So jack of all trades, master of none. It's kind of the vibe that I'm cooking with.
Did you talk about your big project, your like main project? Do you want to?
No, that's a really good point. Thank you. So I have been blocked working on a film that's really important to me. It's more autobiographical, and there's more of my heart and soul in this project than anything that I've ever made before.
That's the hardest kind.
Yeah, which is why it's so freaking scary and why I haven't touched it in like a year. But yeah, it's a feature horror film. And it's a really, really good idea. And I know it's a really, really good idea.
It really
It
is.
is.
It's a really good
It's
idea.
so cool.
And I can
It's
picture
gonna
it
be
so
incredible.
clearly
Yeah.
in my head, but I just can't write it.
You
So-
will.
And I will.
Yet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which is why I'm here. Jackie?
I am Jackie, daughter of Kim. I am from I am from Los Angeles, the Valley, 818 for life.
You got really hetero about that.
Yeah, that was so hetero of you.
It happens. I'm a therapist. I work with little kids and also young adults and grownups, and I kind of focus on creativity, and I also studied creativity coaching, so I do that as well. And I love to sing, and I want to record an album someday. I have no interest in performing other than maybe as like a lounge singer in like a steakhouse or something someday.
I would
That would be
literally.
so cool.
That actually
That is the pinnacle.
I want that so to see that.
I
want
will
that.
open the steakhouse.
Yeah, literally.
great.
You'll make the steak. I'll be the waitress.
Max
I'll
will be
shush
the
this.
bartender. Let's do this.
Let's
Okay.
do this.
Secret superstar steakhouse.
Secret Steakhouse Society.
And then I also like to make visual art, painting, printmaking, and I used to write poetry, and I want to write a murder mystery movie or maybe TV show at some point in my life, a la Clue. And I love food, and I want to do something with food, like maybe writing a cookbook or just doing like some sort of food research project that involves traveling and eating or something like that.
I want to do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no one's ever
Like,
done that before.
No one's
No
ever
one's
done
ever
it.
done it. It's unprecedented.
It would be better maybe like, never mind. I don't want to do this bit.
Okay.
Just keep going.
That is all about me.
Yeah. Fabu.
We cannot overstate like how heartwarming and
Oh my God.
positive and like just very grateful we're feeling about the responses, the participation. You guys just like responding so well to it, and honestly saying things that like we dreamed
Exactly.
of people saying about
Yeah,
this.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it wasn't just like positive feedback, like, yay, it's good, we like it. It was like, we need this. Like, this is something I need. And that's how we felt. Like, we were
Yeah.
just hoping that other
Yeah.
people needed this, like we needed it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I've been thinking about that a lot this week of just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like about to like say some woo woo shit, and that's you're just
Yes,
gonna have
yes.
to like accept it.
Give
But
it to me.
but this week I've just been feeling like all of this alignment happening.
Yeah.
Of just like I'm fairly certain that it was like fate for the three of us to meet
Me too.
and to form a friendship And not just for this podcast. Like, this podcast never does anything. Like, that's not even what I'm talking about. I just mean, like, I think you guys are integral parts of my life and creative journey. And
we're holding hands.
We're holding hands.
And and we saw aliens in the desert.
Thank you.
No big
Thank
deal.
you. Nobody's talking about it.
I was just going to say, we need to talk about the aliens at some point. I don't know if that's now or not.
Well, I don't
think
even
it's
know.
a good teaser.
I don't even know if we need to like fully go into it. I'm
It's
just
your
gonna
business.
throw you guys a bone and let you just wonder.
Chew on it.
Yeah.
It's none of your damn business what happened when we saw the aliens in the desert.
There may be multidimensional beings behind the scenes of this podcast.
Of this podcast.
Yeah,
pretty
we
good.
may be what
Being
just, like,
guided?
puppets.
Yes.
Yeah.
We may be puppets.
We saw we saw something
Fingers
in Joshua
crossed,
Tree.
we're puppets. I hope.
We saw something in the desert.
We did.
And they told us to make a podcast.
Well, no, but kind of.
Okay.
Anyway, the other thing that I was going to say about that was that it almost feels like the reaction that we're getting from the audience is all part of that, because I think that it was immediate confirmation of like, okay, we need to keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we were going to not keep going.
But we put this whole stupid fucking set, which, by the way, you can't even see on a lot of Unframed.
You never know.
But we love our set.
It's really cool.
Hey guys, it's Jackie from the future, and I just wanted to tell you that right here in the recording, we are switching from our recording that we did the first day that we tried to record this episode, where we got some good stuff, and then we had a really emotional conversation and cried and had to stop recording for the day, to our recording from our second day of shooting this episode. We're gonna explain a little bit of like what happened, because we're being just bravely and admirably transparent with you guys during the whole process of creating and releasing this podcast, because it's like about the creative process. So like, we're going to talk about our creative process and the times when we are crying in the bathroom because something went wrong. And so if you're watching the video, you will notice that there's a costume change because it's a different day. We considered wearing the same clothes to try to like pull one over on you guys, but then we decided to truth it and just like let it all hang out. So also, if you're watching the recording, there's one weird moment later on where we had to switch back to our footage from the first day and then right back to our footage from the second day. So it's like a little weird visually, but like it's kind of necessary for the overall listening experience. So just like, don't laugh at us, because we love you and we're doing our freaking best. Okay. The show must go on. Back to the app. Bye.
Okay.
So, you'll notice that we're in different clothes. And it's because we got too stressed out last time we tried to film the podcast. Two of us cried. You can guess who. And yeah.
It was a really rough recording day. It was a rainy day. Mercury was retrograde and still is. So fingers crossed. And yeah, I don't know. It was just like we had to have an emotions talk, and we did, and then we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Because I had to get home to my dog. But nevertheless,
We persist.
It was a stressful day. We were kind of behind schedule on a lot of things. And then we started recording and we felt like we had we maybe like weren't really hitting the flow. And then about 20 minutes in, we realized that everything that we had recorded, we actually, our mics were on mute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we just couldn't use it at all.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, that was emotional. Like, I don't really know how else to say that. It might sound stupid, like why I cry about that. But genuinely, like, we have been moving around so much stuff in our lives to make time for this. We have poured a lot of our thoughts and feelings and anxieties and fears and just like kind of left it all on the table and been really vulnerable with each other first and now with like you. And it's been hard.
Yeah.
You know what I was just thinking about? So we took a trip to Joshua Tree together, the three of us, on the weekend that we thought was going to be like leading up to our release date.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which wound up being
We had a lot of those.
That was in September. And then we wound up releasing in November.
Yeah.
But while we were there and we were like communing with aliens and having a really special night,
As we mentioned.
we decided to pull some tarot cards for the podcast. And do you remember what card came up like every single time?
it was
It was
evil
the
one.
tower and you were
was the
freaking
tower.
out.
I wasn't freaking out, but I didn't want you guys to freak out. So I was like,
But it was hilarious
pulling-
because she was just like, okay, we're going to put that one back. And we were like, what is it?
and then
She's the only one that's actually like very, very into tarot. So Olivia and I were kind of just like, no sweat off our backs. But Jackie was really like,
Yeah, I was like, I was not
Well,
going to freak out because it's a picture of a tower.
people are scared of the tarot card, and I pulled it as the first card, and then I swear to God, I think I like shuffled
You
the
pulled
deck
it three more, like
and
two or
pulled
three
it
more
again
times.
immediately,
Yeah.
and then like again or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally we were just like, okay, putting those away.
Wait, and what
but
does
what
it
does
mean?
the tower mean?
Okay, so the tower, the tower is about like huge upheaval change, and there's like a lot of different levels to it. But it can be like really stressful because it's kind of like a tornado that like picks everything up, spins it around in the air, and then drops it back down in a different place. I think the next card in the tarot is the Star card, unless I'm wrong about the order, but it's like soon after, at least. And that card is all about, oh my God, stars.
Stars.
Whoa.
Superstar card, which is all about hope. And it's like, it's what comes after everything else gets like fucked up and broken down and changed.
Yeah. Yar.
And then I certainly do feel a lot of that too at the moment.
Yeah.
Actually, like a lot more than before we released the episode.
Yeah.
You know?
So that conversation really kind of didn't start as this, but got at this tension that we're feeling between having consistent output and feeding into the consumerist need to have like an episode every week and content every day and something to consume all the time, which we know is good for marketing and ultimately will get more eyes on this podcast, but it's also just like not something we really like believe in or like
that was
feel super comfortable doing.
Yeah.
I think that was the tension, was that like I think we all feel this desire and urge to like have a really high standard for this podcast because we really believe in it.
Well, and
we
all
think we're capable of it.
perfectionists,
And
too,
we're perfectionists.
which is bad combo.
But at the same time, we want this podcast to be about the creative process, and we want it to be like reflective of our actual values. And so it needs to be kind of flexible, and we need to like the hope is that we can like model self-care and like caring for each other and caring for community, as opposed to more like capitalistic, patriarchal.
But then it's also at the same time, it's like we don't want to be, because the conversation was like, we're not in a good place to podcast. We're all in bad moods and we're not going to have a good conversation. And it's like we were trying to balance basically making something good, being consistent, which I think is important for getting eyes on us and also building community. Community comes with consistency. And creative practice. And not being perfectionists and not like falling under the spell of like constant, like taking care of ourselves and like not falling under the spell of like constant overwork and the need to produce and produce and produce. So we are figuring it out as with everything. So get off our dicks.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah. So we're aiming at least for every other week episodes for the time being.
But
we'd like
Thanksgiving is going to throw a wrench in it. And so we'll see. Krampus.
So will Krampus.
And Krampus, we're trying to get him as a guest, and he will not. We can't nail him
know
down.
how to reach him. You know his agent.
Of beef with Krampus.
So it's really hard. We want to schedule him before Christmas. This joke is over because it's confusing. Basically, there's going to be like some maybe longer pauses in the next couple of months because of like holidays, etc., travel, blah blah blah.
But like as we figure our shit out more and the holidays are over, we'll make episodes as often as we can.
Yeah. And we'll try to make that as consistent as possible. Yeah. But if it's not,
we're going to be transparent about it.
Yeah. And get off our dicks. So last week, we gave our inaugural activity to you guys, which was like a creative autobiography playlist. So you would we would all go make a playlist of 3 to 8 songs that were like described in some way our creative lives through music or maybe audiobook. And it was fun because you guys did it in different ways. A lot of people took us through like the timeline of their lives creatively, but yeah, that's it.
A lot of different approaches. And I think that's the cool thing about these activities that we're going to do together in general is that there are so many different ways to approach them. And I think we kind of have decided that for each activity, we want to provide some light scaffolding for people who really feel that they need a starting point. And then just with the understanding that anyone doing the activity can interpret it however they want. And we welcome the diversity that is going to bring.
Mm-hmm. And I particularly was like so nervous that no one was going to send anything in and we were going to just have to like ask our moms to do it.
We had a list of people to like specifically ask, and then people who were not on that list like submitted stuff. So many people.
Yeah, like we are thrilled to say that we had like almost too many submissions to include. We're going to try to touch on all of them in some way. We just might not be able to do deep dives.
But we did make a playlist on Spotify of everybody's submissions. And also we want to say like these submissions are evergreen. We're trying to figure out another format where like we can talk about old
activities.
Exactly. Old submissions
in new
as well.
episodes. Yeah.
So like keep sending your playlists in. We'll keep adding them to the Spotify playlist, which will be on Instagram and the newsletter and Linktree and whatever.
Also, I have to say the playlist is phenomenal. We listened to it last night. We listened to every song. I added quite a few to my playlist. It's a really fun way to share music.
Yeah. Last night was so fun. We read through what everyone said about their playlist and listened to every single song and like had an awesome conversation while doing that.
Yeah. And it made me feel like also so much closer and close in new ways to like the people who submitted.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's do it.
Let's make
now
them.
We're going to take like 10 minutes to finish putting together our playlists and then we'll come back and we'll share ours and yours.
See you soon.
See you soon.
See ya. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about that came up for me the most, reviewing everyone's submissions and thinking about my own too, was the idea of like childhood as creative fuel and like a map back to creativity. I wrote like some notes for myself because I go blank if I'm on the spot. So yeah, that's just something that I think about a ton in my own, like trying to get my creativity back journey, because as I've said before, my childhood was a time when I did feel like really free creatively. And I feel like play and fantasy and make believe. And for me, like belief in magic and stuff like that, those are all such like foundations of creativity to me. And I feel like that came up in a lot of people's playlists too. Like I granted these were autobiographies, so maybe it's not crazy that everybody had stuff from their childhood. But everybody did. And some people like more than one song that represented childhood times, which I thought was like significant. And
especially like childhood and music that's connected to your parents.
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
I think that's like something that stood out to me. One of the themes, like kind of piggybacking off of this larger theme of childhood, is that we, like our parents in a lot of ways, and the people like our siblings, our immediate families, whatever that looks like, are the people that we look to develop our taste.
Yeah, like my wonderful and extremely talented friend Mads, who's in a wonderful band called Trees. We're recording an EP right now. You should check it out when it comes out. Their first song on their playlist was this song that their dad used to. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. Was their song that their dad used to sing
Jim
to them?
Croce?
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like such
Something
a beautiful.
if I could put time
in a bottle.
In a bottle, is that what it was?
It's such a beautiful, lovely song. And Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce. And it was like so many of the songs in their playlist sort of like had that same energy and same vibe. And it was kind of one of the most cohesive playlists that like we got submitted. And I think it's interesting, like how influential, I don't know, how influential like what you hear is like you're going to sleep as a child, how like stays with you for the rest of your life when you're consuming
and also,
your music.
I think too, like when you hear something as a kid, you're coming from a much, I don't even want to say shallower because it's just different. You're coming from a much different place of understanding. And like, so especially when you hear songs or watch films or consume art that has like adult themes, like it doesn't hit the same way at all that it would for an adult. That kid's maybe not going to like totally understand what's being said and think it's about some, like their imagination goes to another place. And then like how that experience changes when you become an adult and you hear those lyrics differently, or you see that piece of art differently with like a new level of understanding.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I have my own experiences with that kind of stuff, and my parents like not really knowing what something means, and then it really gets like a deeper meaning. But I thought like the lyrics to this song, especially just from like a third person objective like perspective, not having, I don't know any of these people, like that's such a lovely, sweet song, especially lyrically for a dad to sing to a kid as they're falling asleep.
Yeah. Do you have more thoughts about that, Jackie? Like ways that that's shown up for you in your art?
Well, I don't know. As you guys were talking, I was just sort of thinking about how Charles, my boyfriend, put the first song that came to mind for him when I asked him for his autobiography playlist was Wild World by Cat Stevens. And he just said, like, his mind immediately went to Sunday mornings with his mom, like making pancakes, listening to Cat Stevens and Bob Dylan. And like those artists are so foundational to him still. Like, we're a Bob Dylan family. And I don't know, I feel like there's something about like the first music that you loved that felt like home and that felt like good music to you that you're like always coming back to in terms of what you're listening to. And then I feel like there's got to be like a map in there too of like if you're looking for inspiration of what you want to make. You know?
So the theme that I chose that I thought was really interesting and that I've actually thought a lot about, I love music. I listen to music all the time. I grew up in a family that loves music. I just feel very connected to it. It was the first thing that I ever wanted to do when I was a little kid was be a musician. So I've definitely had this feeling before a lot, and I've thought a lot about this, but songs that like give you the language to express something that you have felt is previously unexpressed. Or you haven't been able to express it because you didn't know how to put it into words. And then a song can come along and like, or poetry or a novel, any art really can come along and say something in a way where you're like, wow, those are the words that I've been looking for to describe how I've been feeling about this thing. And I think like the one that brought that up was off of Mads's playlist too. And it was a Judy Sill. Thank you, Judy Sill song. And I think Loping Through the Cosmos, maybe. Yeah. And the lyric was, I'll tell you a secret I've never revealed. However we are is okay. And I think Matt's talked about that, really connecting with them as like a songwriter and someone that they kind of aspired to or didn't even really know that they were aspiring to lyrically, of just like, wow, it's wonderful when someone gives you the gift of understanding yourself in a way that can be both joyous and an act of grief at the same time. To have the words can be like so wonderful. It's giving you the language to talk about something that you need to talk about, but at the same time, now that you can talk about it, you have to accept it.
Yeah.
And I think there's grief in that too. And I think the one that comes to mind for me is Nina Simone's Do What You Gotta Do. And I don't think that she wrote that song, but the way that Nina Simone sings anything is just kind of like devastating to me. She and Judy Garland kind of have that same effect on me, where it's just like, it doesn't matter what they are saying, their voices are heart-wrenching to me.
Nina.
Me too. And the way that, you know, even she'll be covering a song, and the way that she paces the lyrics, the way that she builds emotion is just like completely singular. But this song came into my life at a time when I really needed it. I was going through a really hard breakup with a partner who was having like a mental breakdown. And I felt like I lost someone I loved very, very much, very suddenly. It did kind of feel like a death, and it was really hard to accept that something like this could happen to someone who I thought was so wonderful and deserving of like everything good in the world, and he just got like a shitty lottery ticket. And I was having a really hard time accepting the breakup, because it just felt like something that had to happen out of like external forces that was nothing to do with like us or our dynamic. And I found this Nina Simone song, and let me pull up the lyrics. So I can understand how it might be kind of hard to love a girl like me. I don't blame you much for wanting to be free. I just wanted you to know I've loved you better than your own kin. From the very start, it's my own fault what happens to my heart. You see, I've always known you'd go. So you just do what you got to do and come on back and see me when you can. And I like couldn't, you know, it was, she helped me let that go, let him go, and let go of my tendency coming, like how much of this do I want to say, you know, like coming from an alcoholic family to like need to be there to support and fix someone, like fix the problem no matter what. Don't leave them, especially when they need you the most. And it really helped me to just like let go with love and kindness.
I love the come back and see me when you can.
Me too.
Yeah, it's so killer too.
Yeah.
It's so like simple though. It is so helpful sometimes just to have like a simple phrase in a difficult moment to use. Like, this is not a song, but it made me think of when I was like getting really sad about moving out of an apartment that I'd been living in for like 5 or 6 years or something. And I was talking about it in therapy, and I was just like, I don't know how to like, I feel like I need to like say goodbye and like do something to like end this era. And I was like stressing myself out about saying goodbye to my apartment. And my therapist was like, what if you just said, thank you, I love you, goodbye. And now I like do that anytime I use that line a lot, anytime I need it.
Yeah. And
simple.
I genuinely, every time, you know, something goes wrong in an interpersonal relationship and things just aren't working, and you need space, or you just, the relationship needs to end, or like whatever, like I always am just like, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Come back and see me when you can.
It's so, I mean, yeah, it's just so like right in the heart. I also you said made me think of two things. One, this podcast I love, Exploration Live. They talk about, at one point they were talking about how like singers have this gift. People who can really sing have this gift. Like what you were saying at Nina Simone and Judy Garland. Like with that not everybody has, that with their voice they can convey a feeling just with the notes from their mouth. Like I just think that's like the most incredible thing in the world. Like that, like it's just like when you hear a musician be like, yeah, God gave me this gift, it's like, yeah, like some people who really can sing, like you have a duty to like help people experience their emotions. And the other thing I was thinking about was my best friend Gailey, MBFG, submitted a playlist and on that playlist, like it was a lot of songs that were also on a mixtape that she made me when we were in college. And I felt like there were so many like lines and songs from that, like there's a Rilo Kiley song, Better Son or Daughter, that I was like, there are lines from this that help me understand me, but help me understand you and help me understand like why we're friends.
Yeah.
And like, that's also such an amazing thing about like, I know she's a controversial topic, but one of the things like that is really important to me in Gailey's relationship is like Taylor Swift. And like, I feel like we've been able to communicate, I don't know, like that really like the way that music can like you bond people by sharing those like lines or those almost imperceptible understandings of each other is like,
yeah, I mean, it's like sharing poetry and being like, this really spoke to me. And there are so many people, it's actually, I think, very rare to meet someone who is like, the way that hit you, it hit me the same way.
Yeah.
We all interpret things differently and things all like they hit different, and some people will understand something later, but maybe not right now. And that I think is like, art can be such a wonderful way to gauge like how you connect on like a really deep emotional level with somebody.
Yeah.
Which is why Olivia takes all of her dates to art galleries.
I only take my dates to art galleries when I think they might be stupid.
I think it's a really good, like, it's a good way to weed people out.
Also, if you're either of my dates who I took to art galleries, don't listen to this. I don't think you will. Love you. It also, I was going to say something else. Oh, something psychotic that I did to try and reverse engineer that was in college. One of the songs on my playlist is a Taylor Swift song, Last Kiss. And it's about a really devastating breakup. And she goes like, I don't know, like how you kissed me when I was in the middle of the like all these really specific things about him. Like, like how you kissed me when I was in the middle of saying something or whatever. And when I was dating my college boyfriend, I used to try to get him to do the stuff that she was talking about in the relationship. So then when I was like, when we break up, I can listen to this song and really relate to it. And it worked okay. He did all of them.
That's wild.
Like what?
I got to go back to the lyrics for some reason. They're not coming to me. But completely gorgeous song. Last Kiss.
Okay,
lyrics.
I think we should just like, it's not controversial.
It's controversial at this table.
Yeah. No, it's okay. She brings a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Okay, well, there was one lyric that was like, we once went on a trip together starting on July 9th. I do recall now the smell of the rain, fresh on the pavement. I ran off the plane that July 9th, the beat of your heart jumps through your shirt. I can still feel your arms.
So you guys were really busy on July 9th.
Yeah, we were. I was like, we got to meet up then.
We got to get up at 4 a.m. We've got a busy day. We got to go to the airport.
But all this stuff is so like kind of vague because I love your handshake meeting my father. I love how you walk with your hands in your pocket.
So you asked him to do that?
Yeah, basically. Like,
or like
walk with your hands in your pocket?
My dad.
When he met my dad, I was like, that's how he shakes my dad's hand. And then I was like, he's like literally 19. Like, it doesn't matter how he shakes. Like, it's like probably not impressive. Or like, yeah, I'd be like, yes, he's walking with his, like, I'd be like, walking with his arm in his pocket. Score one for the team.
We pull out a little checklist.
And then when we broke up, the chorus is, So I'll go sit on the floor wearing your clothes. All that I know is I don't know how to be something you miss. And when we broke up, I'd be like, putting that shirt on, like sitting on the floor. Let's go, girls. Like, so.
Wow, you reverse engineered.
I reversed that situation, and it didn't help me that much.
To be fair, outside of July 9th and going to the airport and the airplane thing, they're kind of all things that you would normally do.
Yeah. But I was really paying attention to them. Okay, and I was really like, hope he walks with his hands in his pocket. Hope he walks with his hands in his pocket. But then one of the things was like, you're like the life of the party. And he was actually like one of the quietest people I've ever met in my life. And I was like,
X.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a minus point, but whatever. Okay. So my thing that like really stuck out to me amongst many other things was from Kaelin's boyfriend, Max, which I've like lost what I was trying to find. So I'm actually going to start this over again in
Max,
just 1 second.
Beautiful partner who I love, submitted some really cool songs that we're not going to go through.
Yes, but one of them was, and it was cool because it was like the vibe was very different. It was a lot of like, because they were my friends, like little lib art school kids. So it was fun to get like different vibes on there.
Yeah, it was your liberal arts friends, my dad, and my boyfriend.
And Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Charles is giving so much to the podcast, like a playlist and this flannel.
And a flannel.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Selfless King.
Okay, so his thing, not the song itself, although all loved this song, was The Motto by Drake. But I liked his annotation. This song played before literally every basketball game I played in 2012. LOL. Basketball was once my main source of creative expression. Do you guys think playing sports is creative? I think it is. But I just didn't really like something that I've been thinking about since we started talking about the concept for this podcast is like the alternative versions of creativity. Like, I think we only associate creativity with like literal artistic pursuits, but it's like, I don't know, for me, I talk so much, like, to me, the like consistently, I don't know, really creative things in my life are like teaching and like putting together the lesson plans. And that's been how I've thought about my creativity for a long time. And like, I mean, I think it is a lot. It isn't, to me, it's a really important art form. It
is totally. Absolutely an art form.
It's the art of like incorporating the information that you want to learn, the skills that you want, like the content, the skills, the students' needs, like how they learn specifically, what will appeal to them, like the performance of how I can like get this into their brains in a way that sticks, what product they will make like after it. I think I said this last time, but like my creative writing capstone were my, like in college were my lesson plans for this poetry club I taught. And then it was also like the poems that my students made. And I think like, what I think is a really cool, I don't know, like the art that you make from art. Yeah. Like it's so fucking cool to see a student's like paper or whatever, watch like them interpolate. Like it's such a high, like the real high of teaching that I get is like when a student shows like that they've learned.
We actually made up a word for this phenomenon. Oh yeah. And it's Frizzazzling because
Frizzazzling.
It's named after Miss Frizzle, but then also it's kind of like using the word frazzled because you get like a little manic like rush of adrenaline of like, holy hell, I taught you a thing and you are telling me it in a different way and relating it to other concepts that you know about, and I am going to piss my pants about it.
And when I taught 7th grade history for a little bit, and it was like a complete nightmare. It was so hard to get those kids to learn, and I was doing not an amazing job of it. But once I was teaching about like the Second World War and the concentration camps and like the Nazis. And these two kids were once like fighting, and it was never clear that they were ever paying attention to a thing that I said. In fact, it was clear that they weren't. But they were like fighting to like put their seats somewhere, and one kid was like, "You're like the Germans, I'm like the Jews, and you are oppressing me." And I was like, "Yes, you're learning." I frizzazzed all over this bitch. But I also think, like sports. I don't know. Did you guys ever play sports?
Yeah.
Never once in my life.
Captain of my soccer team.
What the fuck?
I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked either.
You guys didn't know that about me?
When?
All of high school.
What?
Why are you shocked?
Just because she's never talked about this?
I feel like I have.
Not to me.
I was not captain all of high school.
Well, that would have been crazy. A
That would
freshman
have been
captain?
crazy. Yeah, that would have been crazy. I was captain when I was a senior.
I can see you being a soccer girl.
Yeah, I played my whole life.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not good, but I played.
Did you feel like that was a creative outlet?
1000%. But if I'm being like totally honest, it's hard for me to answer that question separate from my team that I had in high school. Like, for me, the creative inspiration that I felt, it's really interesting because some of my teammates were the people that I did we shot all of our short films and wrote all of our scripts together. So we didn't just like play sports together. We also were creative partners. Well, and the reason why I think like I can't really separate it from team, and it's not just because those were people that I loved making creative like films and scripts and whatever, like photo shoots, all kinds of stuff. Love doing that with them. But at the same time, when you have a team sport like that, especially one that's like very fast paced and especially one that doesn't, I don't know, football, whatever, we'll leave it. But there's an alchemy that you strike with your team members that is like communicating. I mean, you can run drills and do scrimmages all day long, and that you still, I mean, it helps you attain that alchemy more easily, but that's something so innately creative and like weirdly primitive in that way of just like being able to communicate almost telepathically, of just like
sync up.
Yes, some kind of creative sync that happens where like I don't know, it's what I imagine twin tuition feels like when you have a twin.
It's so cool.
Yeah, there used to actually be this show that I would watch with some of the girls on my soccer team. We were obsessed with it. And it was about identical twins. It was a reality show. It was a game show. Identical twins coming on a reality game show, kind of like Survivor, but different. And they had to use their twin tuition to complete these like Amazing Race type tasks. And it was so weird because they all had to like live in one house, but the house was split in half and only one from each set of twins was put in each house, and it would show them like doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, like eating the same shit for breakfast at the same exact time, putting on like the same outfit, but they didn't even like,
Twins are crazy.
I know.
There was a restaurant in New York in the 90s called Twins, and all the people who worked there were identical twins.
I was gonna say that.
Jackie, do you feel like you've had like non-artistic but yet creative pursuits in your life?
Yes, I was gonna say I'm so sorry. I have nothing to contribute to sports conversation.
Yeah, but just like creativity outside.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, one, as you were talking, it made me think of something that I don't have experience with, but like improv teams, like syncing up in that like magical, really cool way that I super admire. But
shout out Kid Business, shout out Noah, who also left a playlist. Love her.
But when I think of non-traditional creativity, like I think of stuff like cooking and baking, or like perfume making, or home decorating. Like we were just talking about how like decorating your home can be an art project.
Yes.
Because it can be like your way of expressing what you like and how you want the world to look and stuff like that.
Putting together outfits.
Yeah.
My mom, actually, when I was talking to her about, she called me and we debriefed about the first episode of the podcast, and she was telling me a little bit about what she was thinking. And she has kind of said this like my whole life, where she's just been like, well, like I don't think I've ever like intentionally fostered creativity. Like I'm just not really like that creative. And it's so insane to me that she would say that, because she is an interior designer. Her design eye is like, yes, you can learn that, but there's like a natural thing that is actually, it's very hard to learn, that my mom just has. She has spent a lot of time creatively decorating things and like figuring out how to design and landscape gardens in a way that's like so creative and beautiful.
Gardening, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
gardening
yeah.
I think
That's a
is
big one.
a
That's
big one.
Yeah.
for my mom too.
Anything that requires cognitive flexibility
That's a
is
really
creative.
good way to put it.
I know. I'm trying to think of like, how do we define it? You know, like what makes something creative or not, like a creative act or not.
I want to hear from like our Patreon.
Yeah, what
like,
do you
We'll
think?
make a discussion post about like how
Like
do you define creativity? Also, to return to the team thing really quickly because we're almost out of time. On this whatever recording thing, you don't need to know our process. Sorry, love you. I was a figure skater, the only athletic thing I've ever been able to do.
I've always wanted to do that.
Just like harder walking, dumb as shit for
Really
me.
hard.
Really hard walking. But it was such a solitary activity. And it's interesting because like it's, to me, I never felt, even thinking about it now, like it doesn't feel creative to me. It was so solitary. It was just me and the coach, and like it's so planned out and it's so like specific, and you do have to have a lot of like brain body connection, but it's just like, I don't know, it was interesting like that. I think because it was not, I do think maybe a lot of the creativity in sports can come from connection with others
and the adaptability thing.
Yeah, and freedom. And like I think that is like a form, like I think they're extremely amazing creative figure skaters, but I think I could never access that because it was not, I think my creativity exists a lot in connection with others, something that this podcast is also teaching me, and in my own id.
Me too.
And there's no id in figure skating because they're like,
I think like almost opposite for me. Like I'm more of a solitary creature. And so like, I feel like I haven't had as much experience with like synchronizing with people and like being part of a team, either in like a sport, because I never did that, or creatively I've never done like improv or anything like that. So while that's like really impressive to me, I don't have like a sense feeling for that too much, you know, because my art making and creativity is like such a solitary thing usually. It's like, okay, this is when I go into my own little world. I finally like get to be alone and like I don't know, just like get lost in whatever without having to worry about like anybody else or how I'm affecting anyone or what anyone is thinking or perceiving of me, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It's so interesting that like, because I was kind of thinking, this made me think about something that Gailey kind of brought up in her list, which was how the experience of getting completely creatively blocked after you leave a structured environment like college, which like I can totally relate to because that really happened for me. I had such a strong community I went to an arts high school. So it was like I was surrounded by people who were just doing art every day. And I was surrounded by people that in my particular art form, which was filmmaking, like I had a built-in community there.
Soccer captain at an arts high school.
Soccer captain?
Pretty impressive.
At an arts high school.
Yeah.
I know.
Troy Bolton vibes.
Contain multitudes, as does Troy Bolton.
Troy Boltitudes.
Yeah. So what was I saying?
Leaving college.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I had like such a strong community in high school, and then that kind of carried on into college because I went to a film college and had a built-in community there and was like around people who were crazy creative. And then I left that space and I didn't have accountability buddies or like people I didn't have sounding boards. I didn't have a writer's room, which, you know, like who has a writer's room? But I had that my whole life.
I was like getting so into writing poetry senior year of college, and I was like taking poetry workshops and just loving it. And then as soon as school was over, I like totally stopped. And I would try to write stuff, but I needed the structure of like having a deadline, having an assignment, having like the fear of having to present at a workshop and discuss it, which I think is actually really normal. Like that's something that a lot of creative people need, and we tend to like judge it for some reason and think that like there's something wrong with needing that, when actually I think it's like just okay.
Why can't I be a self-sufficient artist?
Exactly.
Is a really interesting thing that we should question.
Because it's so beautiful to create in community.
Yeah.
So now we want to introduce our next activity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blackout poetry.
So here's what you're going to do. You are going to pull up your notes app. You're going to look through, see what stands out to you. It could be something completely ridiculous. It could be something that you like hate, that you haven't been looking at in a while. Maybe that's the thing that you need to pull up. It could really be any note in there. And if you don't really write in your notes app, or you don't really want to use that for your blackout poetry, you can really use any piece of paper that has writing on it.
Yeah, like a magazine article, a bill, a rejection letter, a dictionary page, a Wikipedia article you print out.
I think originally we had conceived of this maybe being like, take something that has a negative connotation and reframe it, repurpose it. But you don't really have to do that if you don't want to. So just a suggestion.
Yeah, I really like that idea of like using it as kind of like an alchemical act, where I heard something, I think from Jill Bodonsky in my Kaizen Muse creativity coaching program, about someone who used to turn all of their rejection letters into like blackout poetry.
Yeah. And so what you're going to do to make the blackout poetry, so you have your piece of like text and then
print it out.
It's a physical, and then you're going to like select the words from that you want to use to create some sort of like poem or written collective piece or something. Select those words, you black out the rest of the words.
Yeah. So there's like different process approaches. Like you can, like, I think I might kind of go through and just like circle or highlight words that I like initially, and then you go back and like fully black out the other text, or some people might just want to like start with the blacking out.
Yeah.
You can really approach it any way that feels comfortable or intuitively right to you.
Yeah.
And I think, so just as a reminder, the way that we have things set up is that hopefully we're going to get submissions before we then record the episode where we do this activity live. So we're going to do it live together here. And we're going to give ourselves only like 10 minutes. And we recommend that you guys give yourselves like 5 or 10 minutes too, just so you don't overthink and it doesn't become like stressful.
Yeah. Again, can't stress this enough. If you struggle with perfectionism, timers are your best friend for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I will post an example I have that I made in my inpatient treatment center.
Yeah.
Great.
I think moving quickly like helps it kind of be an intuitive thing too. And you might even be like surprised by what you come up with.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I would just also say like no pressure on like making a poem necessarily. Like it can be a sentence or like a phrase or like as short as a haiku or whatever.
Yeah. You just want it's like the act of creating subconsciously and like taking something and turning it into something else, like transmuting another piece of work into your own work.
And when you share it with us on the Patreon, or you can send it to us in an email, it would be awesome if you included like a photo of it.
Yeah.
And we would love to also hear anything you want to share about like
the process,
how you chose what you wanted to use for the blackout, or
please tell us what kind of text you use was your original piece of paper with writing on it.
Yeah. If nothing else, give us that detail, because that's something that's really interesting to us. We want to know.
Also, just a maybe important clarification that's maybe a little different than we first said. Anything that you share with us, think of as like fair game for us to share on the podcast, unless you just let us know with the thing you're submitting that you don't want it shared. So if you don't want it shared, you just want to like post it to the Patreon and have the community see it, or you just want to send it to us privately, that's totally fine. Just say, please don't share, or let us know like you can share this, but please keep me anonymous, or please like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you let us know your pronouns if you want to do that too.
Yeah.
So that if we're talking about it, we know.
Yeah. I think we can really just leave it with
saying thank you so much to everyone who participated.
Yes. I have a list, in fact. Thank you to Ava, who not only submitted a playlist, first of all, she's in Spain, shout out, international. Not only did she submit a playlist, she also submitted her artist autobiography line, which was so cool.
It was really, really cool.
And we want to say, like, we're working on a thing. I'm so out of breath. I walked from the camera to the table like a goblin, and now I'm like horribly out of breath.
Do you want me to say?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to figure out a way to have a segment where we share stuff people have submitted to us for activities from past episodes. So if you're listening to this now and you're like, shit, I want to make a playlist, just send it in to us on the Patreon and we'll figure out. We're not sure if it's going to be like in the main episode or if we're going to start doing like some bonus content, but we will
for sure put your songs on the playlist.
And yes, we'll add to the playlist.
Engage with your comment because we appreciate it.
And the playlist will be on Spotify. It will be on Patreon. I will figure out how to put it on our link tree. We'll put it all over. So
it's a really fun playlist.
It's really good. There's also a little like 10-second segment from an audiobook in there. So it's not just songs. Okay, Aubrey, love you. Loved your playlist.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Loved
Aubrey's
the Taylor.
playlist was all kind of like flow
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool, Obs. And it kind of like helped me understand like your internal rhythm.
Yes.
Almost.
And you had a Bjork song and I love Bjork.
And you had a Taylor song and I love Taylor and it really brought us together.
Yeah. Love you, Obs.
Gailey, MBFG, thank you for your playlist.
MVP.
MBFG, MVP.
Truly.
Thank you for our decade plus of friendship. Naomi, we talked about you too much. Shut up. Noah is a really, really funny comedian and writer. She has a sketch comedy group called My Totally Real Girlfriend. And which is extremely funny. And also she is working on a one-woman show that is about a lot of these themes. We will hopefully have her and her writing partner on the pod to talk about it. And we're thinking about this idea of doing like secret superstar field trips.
Yes. Like kind of curated events like that that we'll all try to go to and we'll recommend to all of our listeners if you're in LA, and some of them will be virtually.
Oh, and also it's going like Gailey also has a storytelling show with a few other people called Dyke Storytelling, where she like basically it's a storytelling show and it has Dyke identifying people in their 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, and 20s, all like doing 10 minutes of storytelling.
Cool.
I made Kaelin come with me once.
I've been, it was awesome.
It's
Loved
really cool. I think the next one is on December 2nd, but you can just like Google that. Mads, amazing artist, already said. They're in a band called Trees. They also host the open mic every so often at the Fable in Highland Park, if you want to go there.
My dad, George Loss, who is, I think I've said previously, an incredible street photographer in New Orleans. He has many Instagrams. You should look him up, George Loss. And I think he might be doing a gallery thing in New Orleans at some point this year.
Cool.
Daddy, you should really do that.
His stuff is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. My friend Harper, who I've been friends with since middle school. Shout out to her. I don't know what the hell she's doing. I didn't even know she lived in Scotland, but I love that she's there. Max.
My wonderful partner, Max, who is incredibly creative in pretty much everything that he does.
Mm-hmm. And a fabulous cook.
Fabulous cook.
And my boyfriend, Charles, who has the best taste in music pretty much of anyone I know, and is an amazing tattoo artist at Charles Shatov Classic Tattoo, Fullerton. Look at our like incredible creative community that is already coalescing.
I know. Yeah. It's fabu. We saw people commenting on each other's playlists on the Patreon. We loved that.
So much fun.
Yeah. We'll post about all of this on the Patreon and about our on fuck me. We'll post about all of this on the Patreon. We'll post it all on the Instagram. Please follow those things. Follow our TikTok. Please do follow our Patreon. You can do it for free or you can do the paid tier.
We have 25 Patreon members, which is crazy.
Yes.
I really did not think we would have that many
I
after
know.
episode 1.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
guys so much.
Love you. Love you.
See you next time.
Superstar.
Superstar. Mwah.